Good morning, culés. It is time to wake up and Barça, live Barcelona news coming at you right here from the Undefeated channel. In today's episode, we will of course being focused on the disappointing, sometimes gut-wrenching results against Inter Milan. A 1-0 defeat away from home in the San Siro. Plenty of talking points. We're going to go over the good, the bad, the Barça. We'll give out a mustache man of the match, but I can tell you this, my friends. This is going to be the last time that I do a good, bad, and Barça for a Barcelona loss. After this, there will be a new format. We are going to play what is called the Barça blame game. All right? I don't have it set up for today, but just in building out the good, the bad, and the Barça, I'm sitting here going, you know what? This format doesn't fit for losses. So we will do something new next time it happens. Knock on wood, hopefully it won't be for a while, but I'm going to have different graphics, this and that. It'll be the Barça blame game, okay? But for today, like I said, we'll do the good, the bad, the Barça. We'll begin with a match overview, then we'll dive in to those details, plus whatever else comes up conversationally as we have a little bit of coffee and we start our day. I know, folks, I know that we're feeling down right now. I know that we're getting the harassment, the memes on Twitter and social media. I get it. I get it. Hang tight. We're going to turn things around. We'll try to bring in some positivity because what we do here, the big thing is that we support the badge and we support each other. Okay? So despite the doom and gloom going on around the culés community right now, we're going to try to turn things around. We're going to try to have a positive outlook. We'll get there, folks. All right? But before we get into any of that, let's go ahead and kick things off the right way.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now tuning in to the undefeated Mustache John.
All right, just took a little sip of my coffee and it is warm. Let me tell you. Like I said, folks, we're going to do a full overview of Inter Milan, Barcelona. Shout out to everyone who is tuned in from around the world. If you want to be part of the conversation, make sure you subscribe to the Undefeated channel here on YouTube. If you're watching on TikTok, then consider jumping over to YouTube where you get the full experience, the Undefeated Mustache John on YouTube. That's where you want to find us. Anyway, with that out of the way, folks, let's take a deep breath and let's dive on in to the match overview of Inter Milan's 1-0 victory over Barcelona. First of all, goal from Hakan Calhanoglu. I'm sure I'm saying that incorrectly. I mispronounced it all day yesterday during the live stream, but he sneaks in what ended up being the match winner in the stoppage time of the first half. Poor defending, particularly from Barcelona's midfield, closing things down, closing out that space. Loose ball gets deflected, falls right to the attacking midfielder, buries it home. So we'll talk about that and more. But first, let's go over the overview stats. Barcelona, 7 shots, only 2 on target compared to Inter's 5 shots with 2 on target. The difference is we had 72% of the possession. 72% of the possession, my friends, and we got 2 shots on target. Not good enough. Not good enough at all. We had almost 3 times the number of passes, more than double, 286 to 706. Passing accuracy, Barcelona 90%. 9 fouls committed by both teams. 2 yellow cards for us, 5 for Inter. 13 corners. We had 13 corner kicks and could not find the back of the net. This was a frustrating one, my friends. Before we get into the good, the bad, and the Barça, this was a frustrating one. There are plenty of talking points, but this match overall was just frustrating watch for a number of reasons. Okay, so I digress. Let's just dive right into it. Let's get it out of the way. Let's pull off the Band-Aid. Let's cover the good, the bad, and the Barça. But we're going to do things a little bit differently this time because if you watch the match, there's not a lot to celebrate. There's not a lot to discuss for the good, the Barça, and the mustache man of the match. Most of what we have to say here is going to fall under the bad box. So let's get it out of the way. Let's dive in, folks. The good, the bad, and the Barça, beginning with what was good. Short and sweet. Not a lot. Not a lot at all. What was good? Outside of the goal, we defended well. We got to see Dembele dribble by himself a lot. That's about it. Other than that, I guess you could say Eric had a good performance. End of story. I don't have much of anything else that was good from this match. Please let me know in the comments if you got something else that you can add. But right now, the good box goes to Garcia. We're going to skip the bad box for now, and we're going to jump over to the Barça box first and foremost. This was a stretch for me. This was a stretch. I had to really dig deep and think, who represented the badge? Who was a good servant of the club? Who represented the Barcelona DNA? And the best I could come up with was Christensen. Back-to-back matches, getting the Barça box. This time, for his defensive effort, yes, but strictly for the reason of taking an injury and still trying to play on. Having that undefeated mindset to say, you know what? I'm in pain right now. I'm hurting. I'm bleeding through my sock after that challenge, but that's not going to take me off the field right away. I know that we're down on defenders. I know that we've got a lot of injuries that we're dealing with already, and so I'm going to do everything I can to stay on this pitch, fight through the pain, fight through the injury, and do what I can for the club. Didn't work out. He was running around like a little injured baby deer. No disrespect. So of course, he has to be pulled off, but for the attempt, for the willingness to play through pain, Christensen gets the Barça box. Now, I'm going to save the mustache man of the match just so we can have a little glimmer of positivity to end on. But folks, we got to talk about what was bad, because there was a lot wrong with this match. Let's go to what everybody's talking about right off the bat, okay? The handball situation. There was an early one that Eric Garcia was called for a handball, but there was an offsides in the buildup of play, so that got nullified, wiped off the board. Then we go to Barcelona's equalizer being called off because Ansu Fati got his hand barely in the way. I'm telling you, he goes in for the header. The keeper comes in to challenge. Ansu Fati, which a lot of players will do, puts his arm up like this to protect himself from getting punched in the face by the keeper. And because his arm was up, it grazed his hand. I'm telling you, grazed with the slightest of touches, grazed his hand before falling to Pedri. Now, the rules state that if an attacking player accidentally, in the run of play, handles the ball, if it's not a clear, obvious, intentional handball, if it's deflection, particularly at close proximity, you're supposed to let it play on. You're supposed to allow that goal. So right off the bat, referee, questionable decision. VAR, not having our back. Then, late in the match, Dumfries, almost the same situation, but reverse. The defender, handball, grazing off of him, hand in the air. And apparently, VAR didn't call it because they thought that that was Ansu Fati's hand that it hit. Are you kidding me right now? Unbelievable. Refereeing was horrendous. Absolutely horrendous yesterday. Couldn't believe some of the calls and no calls that I was seeing. But there was plenty more that was bad about this match. First of all, I already mentioned Christensen injured. Probably going to be out about 3 weeks or so. Got a hard challenge sliding in on his ankle, bleeding through the sock before he came off the pitch, looking like he's going to be out for 3 weeks. So now we're down another defender. Lewandowski, uninvolved, was trying to come and join on the wing play, but that's not where we need you, my man. We need you in the center of the pitch. We need you to have your back to goal and having players run off of you when we're facing these 5-back defenses that we're going up against. Lewandowski just disappearing in these bigger matches, these Champions League matches. We need to see more from you, Lewandowski. Not good. Not good. Bad. Speaking of what was bad, continuing on. No creativity on the wings. Dembele, Rafinha, even Ansu Fati when he came on. No creativity on the wings. We lack innovation. We lack dynamic movement. I'm not blaming the wingers solely. because a big part of that is the midfielders, the strikers, the wingbacks doing their part too. We're so one-dimensional right now. It's give the ball to Dembele, give the ball to Rafinha. Maybe we get an outside overlap, but we're mostly relying on Dembele or Rafinha to run at the defender, create space all on their own, yada, yada, yada. Go watch Manchester City. That is what we're trying to do. The difference is that Manchester City understands and they have the movement off the ball, the one-touch passing, the give and go into space. We have no Tiki. We have no Taka. We just have dribbling to the end line and throwing in a desperate cross, which typically gets blocked. That's what we have right now. So no creativity on the wings. Inter Milan's tactics were basically, hey, we're going to double team Rafinha and Dembele. Go ahead and drop it to Marcos Alonso. Go ahead and drop it to Sergio Roberto, and then we'll see what they can do to beat us. Inter Milan's strategy was go ahead, give the ball to your fullbacks, and we'll let them try to beat us. I don't want to blame Roberto. I feel like he's being set up for failure. We knew 2 years ago that Roberto was not the right back for Barcelona. We knew 2 years ago that he didn't have the pace to keep up with elite clubs when we're asking him to defend from the right back position. So Sergio Roberto never should have been there. Gavi was basically a ghost. I don't understand. I love the intensity. I love the attitude. I love the grit that Gavi brings. But where are you in the buildup of play? Where are you in the final third when we're trying to break down this 5-back defense? I got nothing from you, Gavi. Nothing whatsoever. Kessié comes on immediately, draws a foul, gets a couple of free kicks, creates a little bit of chaos. Gavi was doing none of that. I saw nothing from Gavi whatsoever. Busquets, 90% of the game, Busquets doing what Busquets does. But you know what? Didn't come out and close down that space with the loose ball to give up the goal. And then himself, free header on the near post, couldn't get it on target. You're killing me, Busquets. I need better from you on both ends. With all of that said, the blame isn't on the referee. It's not on any individual players. The blame has to go to Xavi. The tactics aren't there. The strategy is lacking. We've seen now Xavi's kryptonite is a 5-back defense. Frankfurt, an example from last year. Mallorca, just this past weekend, and now Inter Milan. Xavi's strategy, particularly in the offensive third, is totally nullified once he comes up against a 5-back defense. Yes, Inter Milan were packing it in. They had 3 center backs, 2 wing backs, 3 midfielders, and then 2 strikers, one of which, sometimes both, were coming back behind the ball. So bunker defense, classic Italian style, set it and forget it, bunker style defense. But still, you have to be able to break that down. You have to be able to innovate new ways of getting through those back lines, creating that space, exploiting that space. We didn't see any of that. We saw the same attempt over and over and over. Give it to Dembele. Let him dribble at 2 defenders. Oh, double, triple team. Drop it to Roberto. Cross it in to nobody. We weren't getting any runs in the box, no runs off the ball. We weren't creating any triangles with give and go passing. No Tiki, no Taka. Xavi has to do better with getting into the heads of these players, implementing a style of play that's going to lead to goals. We can't have 60, 70% possession and 2 shots on goal. We can't have over 700 passes with 90% accuracy and 2 shots on goal. We can't have 13 corners and 2 shots on goal. We cannot have that. So the bad box goes to Xavi because you have to figure out how to play against a 5-back opponent. You have to figure it out, Xavi. Until then, you're in the box. Okay. Rant over. For now, we'll circle back to it to try to put a positive silver lining on things. mustache man of the match. We're giving it to the young Pedri. He's showing signs of becoming the player that we want him to be, of being able to turn in the midfield, go from defense to offense, not just settle for a lateral or a backwards pass, but truly take accountability for what's going on. Say, give me the ball, watch what I do with it. I'm going to press forward. I'm going to get us into that attacking third. From there, as I've already ranted, we are lacking. We are lacking creativity. We're lacking energy. We're lacking movement off the ball. All right? It's very, very frustrating. I can't tell you how frustrating it is. And then to make it even worse, you hop on social media and you see stuff like this. Bastoni on Instagram puts up this photo. We've been just getting trolled since the final whistle. I immediately got a text from my new friend George from Bayern Now. Shout out to George if you're watching. We're a bit of a laughingstock right now, folks. We're a bit of a laughingstock. However, I could give you a little silver lining. Still not as bad as last year. Still not nearly as bad as last year. In fact, if we look at the current table, despite the results, we are 3 points down from second place. We are level on goal differential. So, here's what's going to happen. We are going to go back into the Camp Nou on October 12th. Inter's going to come in. We are going to smash Inter Milan 3, 4, 5-0. We reclaim second place from goal differential. Then, a few weeks go by, we will welcome Bayern Munich into the Camp Nou. We will take care of business. We won't smash them. We'll probably get a draw. That'll be enough, because in the meantime, Victoria Plzen are going to get a little upset over Inter. Maybe not. Either way, even if Inter win in that match, final match of the group stage, Inter Milan has to go up against Bayern Munich. We get Victoria Plzen. Enough said, okay? So we'll turn things around. It's going to be a little bit tighter than what we wanted, but we will get back into second place. We'll get the results that we need in the Camp Nou, and then we'll move forward from there. All right? So real easy to take a turn to negative town. Real easy to say Xavi out. Real easy to say woe is me. All is lost. Barcelona this and that and chaos and doom and gloom. Real easy to go there, folks. But you know what? We knew that this was going to be a long October. We knew that it was a potential to have some stumbles here and there. So head up. We've got a match over the weekend on Sunday against Celta Vigo. Then we've got the return fixture against Inter Milan. Then we have El Clasico. Then we have Bayern Munich. So much happening. Oh my gosh. Anyway, folks, that does it for the good, the bad, and the Barça. Again, had to really piece together the good, the Barça, the mustache man of the match. From here on out, we're going to be playing the Barça blame game anytime that there is a Barcelona loss or a disappointing result, I should say, because sometimes draws will trigger that as well. But let me know what you think. I'm going to turn to the chat. I'm going to say my good mornings, say my hellos, get your thoughts and opinions. And if you're watching this on replay, let me know down in the comments. We'll keep the conversation going. And then, of course, if you're watching on TikTok, you folks, consider hopping on over to YouTube. Find me there, the Undefeated Mustache John. Subscribe to the channel. That's where the main content is. You see all the glitz and glamour. Anyway. Okay. Deep breath. Let's turn to the chat. We'll say my good morning, see how everybody's feeling. We got Mike Aragon in the house. We got In the Shadows. We've got Anthony. Hello. You stupid is with us. JC, good morning to you, sir. Who else we got in here with us? Michael, hello. Says we missed Nico, yeah. JC says also without Koundé and Araujo. Yes, listen, you can blame the referee. You can blame the injuries. You can blame... that's about it before you start looking at Xavi and the players. You could blame the referee, you could blame the injuries, but at the end of the day, folks, we had a good enough team and we should have gotten a better result. There's no reason why we should have lost that match. I got nothing outside of not getting the tactics right. Yes, we got a bit screwed. VAR let us down. It happens, okay? But at the end of the day, like I said, as I fix this camera, at the end of the day, it's on us. We got to do better. It's on Xavi. I think everybody right now is recognizing that 5-back formation is Xavi's kryptonite. Can't have that. We got to do better. So let's keep the opinions going. What did I get right? What did I get wrong? My goodness. In the Shadow says, there is still some time to improve. Some players will be back from injury when it's time to face Bayern. Yes. Like I said, we do have lots of fixtures coming up. Let's go ahead and jump over and take a look at what we have coming up here. Celta Vigo on Sunday. We'll do a little match preview this Friday right here on the Undefeated channel. Wake Up in Barça Friday morning. We'll do match preview. Then Wednesday, October 12th, we've got Inter Milan. Huge match. Then we have to go into the Bernabeu going up against Real Madrid. This is a huge, huge week for Barcelona, the 12th and the 16th. Then we got Villarreal, Athletic Club, Bayern Munich, and ending the month with Valencia before we wrap up Champions League in November against Victoria Plzen. A big month, folks. And yes, we are hoping that Koundé comes back. We are hoping that the Young comes back. We are hoping that Memphis Depay comes back. Honestly, Memphis Depay might be the key to unlock these 5-back defenses that we run up against, because the wing play ain't it. It's not it at all. We got to be a little bit more central. We got to be a little bit more physical as well. You got to be able to hold up the defender, play with your back towards goal. Memphis Depay can do that. We're not getting it from Lewandowski right now. I'm worried. I'm worried that Lewandowski isn't showing up in these big matches. Granted, you got to keep in mind, as a striker, as a forward, really, sometimes you're very reliant on the tactics, the players around you, setting you up for success. I saw plenty of crosses into the box yesterday that Lewandowski wasn't running onto. Plenty of crosses that were right to the penalty spot, but we were either near post or far post. So I don't know. I don't know who's getting it wrong, because I'm not there to see the instructions that Xavi's giving. We're not there for all the analysis during the training sessions. What I'm seeing is that the timing from the wingers to the forwards on those crosses is completely off, completely out of sync. That it's not just about creating the space. You have to time it with the runs into the box as well. And the runs have to be there. The runs have to be there. They have to be timed with the cross. We're not getting any of that right now. Just stagnant lack of creativity on the wings. Absolutely terrible. Anyway, she loves Sante or Saint. She loves Saint or Sante. Let me know which one it is. It says we need to beat Inter or we're out of Champions League. Let's see. If we draw, we could draw. Technically speaking, we could draw. If we draw against Inter, it'd be 7-4. Let's say they lose to Bayern, we draw Bayern, and then we beat Victoria. But they would also beat Victoria, so that would be a wash. Yeah, we're pretty much out. We need a win. I was trying to think of a way that we could just get a draw, but no. We need a win, or we're going to need a miracle, one of those two, to get out of Champions League. A win would be better. At home against Inter Milan, we can do this. It is Saint. Okay, thank you. She loves Saint. Appreciate it. Pancho Mike, how we doing, sir? Says, with the levers pulled, would Europa League doom Barça to player sales and slow rebuild? Yes, Europa League at this point, after pulling all those financial levers, would be quite the disaster. We don't want to miss out on the financial impact of staying in Champions League. Financial opportunity, I should say. Kumar, how we doing, sir? Says, Lua did have a bad game yesterday. Even when he was dropping back, either his positioning wasn't good or his passing wasn't sharp. Both. We didn't have any runs off of Lewandowski. We didn't get him the ball nearly enough. So, again, I don't know. Blame the service, blame the forward. We're not on the same page, which ultimately falls down to Xavi. Andrese, how we doing, sir? Says Memphis would have been great alongside Lewandowski. Agreed with that. Ghost Prashant, how we doing, sir? Good to see you. Says we have to be better against Inter and the El Clasico. Amen. Again, hopefully De Jong will be back. Hopefully Koundé will be back. Hopefully Memphis will be back. And we'll see what happens. You Stupid says, Kessié to start over Gavi sometimes. I guarantee you Bastoni wouldn't have that meme up if it was Kessié. Folks, it's going to be heated. It is going to be a heated second leg. I don't know what was said. Maybe we can do a quick search here and find that video. Because Gavi said something to Bastoni. Oh, this is funny. This is funny. Let's see if we can find. Okay, here it is. Here's what we want, folks. Watch the reaction here. This is Gavi up top. We'll go full screen on this if we can. Yeah. Okay. Watch the reaction. This is Gavi up here. Bastoni is down here, and this is, I think, after there was a no call against Gavi, and Gavi did not appreciate it. Let me mute. And then just watch the reaction of Lautaro Martinez, and I think that's either DeVry or Skinner, however you say his name. Watch their reaction when Gavi comes over. Whatever he says to Bastoni there, and immediately the player's running over. I don't know what he said. I would love to be a fly on the wall. I would love it if that audio got leaked from somewhere, because 3-4 players come running over to get in Gavi's face there. So heated words exchanged, and then after the match, like I said, Bastoni putting up on Instagram that picture of him dragging down Gavi. So shots fired. We hear you, Inter. It's not over yet. It is not over yet. Inter Milan has to come through the Camp Nou if they want to get through the round of 16. And you know what, folks? I don't think it's going to work out for them. I think Barcelona are going to get a big victory at the Camp Nou. It's going to give us the momentum that we need to carry forward into El Clasico, where we will get another big victory, maintain first place in the Liga, and never look back. All right, so there's your silver lining. There's your bright light at the end of the tunnel. Is that we will be second place in we will be second place in Champions League, and we'll be first place in the Liga by the end of next week. All right, just be patient. Focus on the good side of things, which is we will have players recovering from injury. In Xavi, we trust at the end of the day. I have not lost faith. In Xavi, we trust. Whew, okay. Dion Muka, hello. Glad to see ya. She Loves Saint says, we need to play a 3-5-2 formation for an offensive game and more speed on the wings. We could put Lewandowski and Memphis up top and have our wingers be more creative and more accurate crosses. Amen to that. We got to figure out something. Something needs to be done here. Oh, my goodness. What else? In the Shadow says, Xavi has to learn quickly how to adapt to the other team's tactics. Other elite coaches are starting to figure him out. Yeah, it's 5-back. You put 5 defenders up against Barcelona. Basically, Xavi's kryptonite. Not good, folks. Not good. We can't be that simple. We can't be that one-dimensional. We need to have the tiki, the taka, all in play. My goodness. She Loves Saint calling for Luke the GOAT. Sure. I love Luke the GOAT too, but let's be realistic here. Andrese says, Gavi for me sometimes falls or goes to the ground too often. He comes in a little bit hot, doesn't have the best balance. Got a lot of intensity and does create those connections sometimes. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Nima saying it's Barca media's fault. I don't know how much influence they actually have on the match, but I hear you. Godzilla King says, Barca and Inter are my 2 favorite teams. All right, must have been a little bit hard for you to watch yesterday. Dion says, he just keeps shooting, not passing to others. Not sure who we're talking about. Probably Lewandowski, I assume that's what we're talking about. Ovi, good morning to you, sir. Good to see you. Glad you made it in this morning. Again, anybody watching on TikTok, if you want the full experience, you want to be part of the conversation, you want all the graphics and screen sharing and all that jazz, find us on YouTube. The Undefeated Mustache John. Come and find us. Anyway, for those that are watching on YouTube, take a moment, hit that thumbs up button, drop a like if you're appreciating the content. I know these are tough times for Barcelona fans. I know that we're hanging our heads a little bit low. I know we're taking some heat from the football community right now. But you know what? We're here for each other. We support the badge. We support each other, the good times and bad. What we're here for, folks. It's not all going to be sunshine and rainbows. It's not always going to be Barcelona day in and day out. We've got to ride this roller coaster, okay? So I'll leave you with this. We are top of La Liga. Champions League is within our control. If we get the results that we need, we're clean through. And we have a very exciting El Clasico to look forward to in the middle of October. So, lots more to come on this channel, folks. Lots more to come. Striker FN, new subscriber, welcome to the channel, my friend, says, my prediction, Barça beat Inter, Barça draw versus Bayern, and then beat Victoria, sums up to 10 points. Inter lose to Barça, beat Victoria, Bayern beat Inter, sums up to 9 points, and that's how we qualify. Amen to that. We got to make it happen. Striker, I appreciate the thoughts. I appreciate the optimism. Everybody in the Stash Squad, I appreciate you spending your morning with me. I hope you have a wonderful day. Go out, try to turn things around, okay? There is a lot of life outside of football, so as much as we carry around that passion and that spirit with us, let's have positive interactions, high fives and hugs for whoever wants them. Let's go out and do good things. I will see you Friday morning right here on the Undefeated channel for Wake Up and Barça match preview, Barcelona versus Celta Vigo, and then we'll be live again this weekend for that match. Make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications, come hang out with us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for Wake Up and Barça live Barcelona news. Come hang out for all the Barcelona live matches. I do the commentary, the play-by-play. You get to participate in the chat with your fellow culés. All happening here on the Undefeated channel. So, that's going to do it for today. TikTok, again, hop on over to the Undefeated channel on YouTube. We'll see you there for the next show. And all of you, thank you so much for tuning in and taking a ride. Mwah.